What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload videos every now and again. It's always college football related. This is a special segment of the #1 ranked show because we got to talk about Caleb Williams, who has entered the transfer portal. It had been rumored, thought about since the day that Lincoln Riley decided to get on a plane from Norman to move to LA to coach USC, and now it is official. We're heading into the offseason for real now. Williams, for his part, posted on Twitter. He made the decision. He's going to spend some time with his family. He's going to figure some things out. People are going to reach out and give him, I hope, well wishes. Because for me, I think it's absolutely cool that these players want to post their resignation letters to Twitter. Because they don't have to. I mean, when you quit a job and you take another job, you don't post about it on Twitter unless, you do, and then it goes viral for reasons that have really nothing to do with you choosing to quit your job and everything to do with how you chose to quit your job, which is a lot of the discussion, right? It's not the decision you make, it's how you make that decision. And Williams finished the season in Oklahoma, led them to an Alamo Bowl win against Oregon, which is a nice segue into Oregon should be one of the first teams to call Caleb Williams because Anthony Brown did not give Ducks fans what they wanted. And it felt like Ty Thompson should have had an opportunity to try to do just that, but that ain't happened either. So either people were sleeping on Ty Thompson, and he was never going to get a shot, just wasn't ready for the job, or Ty Thompson is going to be that guy, but they had Bo Nix transfer in at Oregon. I still think you should give Caleb Williams a call because I think Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Bo Nix. That's just me. However, there are a number of other places that I think should call Caleb Williams. North Carolina, who's losing Sam Howell to the NFL draft. Perhaps you're going to have a Drake May there that you trust. But, hey, look, man, if you got Caleb Williams on the board, knowing how Dre Bly and Mac Brown like to recruit that Eastern Seaboard, you want to go get it. I understand that there's some folks that think he should go back home to Maryland to play for Coach Locks. I think he's set with Tagovailoa, quite honestly, right? But if you can get him, you'd love to get him. They just lost their backup quarterback to Richmond, who had transferred in from VMI, only to sit behind Tagovailoa. Another team that I think is interesting and a good fit for Caleb Williams is Nebraska. Now, Nebraska has gone ahead and hired Mickey Joseph, who was the wide receiver coach at LSU, when that vaunted 2019 wide receiver group led them to a national championship. This is the one with Terrace Marshall, Justin Jefferson, and, of course, Jamar Chase, who you'll know went off for the Bengals on Sunday, right? 226 yards receiving, which is disgusting. Same thing with Joe Burrow, right, who was slept on at Ohio State, transfers to LSU, wins the Heisman, puts together one of the best quarterback seasons that we've ever seen. They're a quarterback away at Nebraska, or so it feels, right? And they look like they want to go and put up 50 because they got Mark Whipple as their new offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator at Pitt, right? Kenny Pickett. You get what I'm saying over here? Jordan Addison. You got dudes. Plus, it'd be Caleb Williams throwing to dudes like Dakotas to ever do it. Crawford. You also had Wan'Dale Robinson, who was at Nebraska for 2 years before transferring to Kentucky and becoming an absolute dude. Man had over 100 catches for like 300 or 1,300 yards. It's something ridiculous or stupid like that. I'm all here for it, right? And Williams apparently is totally open to all comers, and why shouldn't he be at this point? He is at the top of the list of the most valuable transfer portal candidates that we've seen in a while, up there with Brandon Joseph, who went into the portal from Northwestern, defensive back, former All-American. I don't think that USC is a place for him to land, but, anything's possible. I just looked at Jackson Dart, who was the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2020 coming out of Corner Canyon, and he looks like he's got the moxie and he's got the juice, right? You also got Miller Moss, who's over there too, but maybe Lincoln Riley wants to go with a dude that he knows and understands. That's up there. Another team that I think should take a look at him is Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin with Caleb Williams and that warp speed offense, knowing how Matt Corral liked to get out and run. They would call QB runs for him. That's a glove fit, really. I mean, you lost Jeff Lebby, but it's a nice trade if you can get up with a Caleb Williams. Plus, you got Zach Evans, who has transferred into Ole Miss, or is at least the lead candidate to go to Ole Miss right now, or Ole Miss is the lead candidate to win him, right, who was at Texas Christian. You got options here if you're Caleb Williams, and I'm really interested to see which one of these picks up. Another one is LSU. I mean, no matter what you think you got in Garrett Nussmeier and Walker Howard. You know what you got in a Caleb Williams, and they get an opportunity to show themselves off in the Texas Bowl against Kansas State, but if they lose that to Deuce Vaughn and them, that's how they're going to go out. I think there's a lot of discussion that will be had about where he ends up transferring, but I do expect this to take place pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry because the spring semester starts up like a week from today for most places and 2 weeks from today in all places, right? So he's going to have to make some decisions quick, fast, and in a hurry here. But for Oklahoma, now you get to find out whether or not Jeff Lebby can recruit a quarterback. Because right now it's Micah Bowens. That's it. You lost Spencer Rattler to the portal, South Carolina, Austin Stogner to South Carolina, Jaden Hazelwood to Arkansas. Arkansas better stick with KJ Jefferson. That dude has your whole heart, and he is physical like you read about, but you also got Malik Hornsby behind him. I don't think that they're going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, but at this point, if you can add him to your roster, you add him to your roster. But you probably have an opportunity to add him to your roster if you have a for real quarterback derby that everybody can participate in, right? This is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun, right? Because we've seen so many coaches make moves all over the place. Like Todd Bates coming in at Oklahoma as new defensive line coach. That's a huge win for Brent Venables. Bates was the defensive line coach for 2017-2018 when they put out one of the best defensive line units of the last decade, 4 All-Americans on that defense. Christian Wilkins, Austin Bryant, Dexter Lawrence, Cleveland Farrell. That's Todd Bates' group, right? That guy's going to be coaching defensive line at Oklahoma. They're also in the sweepstakes for Jay Valai at Alabama, who's the cornerbacks coach. It's interesting. I don't know how this ends for Oklahoma, though Casey Thompson's in the portal. He's played high school football in the state, Southmore, and then Newcastle. I think he's a good quarterback. I think that he could run Jeff Lebby's offense, and I think that he could do well at Oklahoma. I've always been a huge Casey Thompson fan. Like, I really like watching him play football, and I think he's a good dude. Plus, his daddy Charles played quarterback at Oklahoma, and that would be a nice story to end his career. But yeah, this is going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting quick, fast, in a hurry. Let me know what you think in the comments below about Caleb Williams' decision to enter the transfer portal, how you think this ends for him, how you think this ends for Oklahoma. Also, a correction for me. I thought I said Archie Griffin won 2 Heisman trophies at Ohio State, but apparently I said Eddie George. You know by now. Give me the benefit of the doubt of not being an idiot, but when I say stuff like that, I understand that there are a number of you that haven't been familiar with the channel for a while who think I'm an idiot. Also, on the #1 ranked show on Wednesday, we will preview the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia, and we're going to talk a little scheme, right? All right, that's it for me. Deuces.